I was primarily taken care of by my mother, not
Okay.
very much not often by my father. And because of
Ah,
that, it I didn't really have a problem with it.
yeah,
I guess when it was only towards my adolescence, and I always knew there was an expectation to become a man at a certain point, and
yeah,
without that figure there, I was always, I guess, watching and observing people to like see, okay,
yeah.
is there something I'm supposed to figure out before it's too late? And
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
that's what. Makai, I want to ask you about something. So see, when you was growing up and you was in school and you saw parents who have their fathers and that, and their mums come to the school, pick them up and stuff like that. Did How did that make you feel? Like, did you think that was abnormal or normal? Like, because growing up and being raised by a mum, did that question your own um parents? Like, where's my dad? Or like,
It's a really good
these kind of
question.
things. Yeah.
I it didn't bother me to be honest. I was very fine with it. It was only until secondary school where I I actually became more, I guess, self-aware of my situation and I guess everything around me to where it was more I don't I have to use the word shame essentially. But it wasn't shame at myself, the situation. It
Okay.
was more like
Yeah.
I know there's like a stereotype around this. So it felt like my life
Yeah.
was a stereotype. So to like if someone asked me, oh, uh is your dad at home with you, like your mom and dad, I'd lie and be like,
Okay.
yes, because I didn't want to be another story. So that was the only time
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it had them feelings. But apart from that, I didn't have no shame in that.
Bro, do you know when you got asked that question in regards to the mum and the dad, how did that make you feel internally? Because outside that you can tell them, yeah, that, that's cool and that, but inside, how did that even make you question? Actually, where is my dad? What happened to my dad? Did you ever go through any of these questioning these internal dialogues, bro?
I was I think it's because I was a very lonely child. Even though like I had people around me,
Yeah,
I very much preferred my own company. So there was a time
yeah.
when I was getting adjusted to that where I think I very much did want my dad and my brothers. I just wanted people around me. But I think at a
Ah,
certain point I got adjusted to okay, you gotta get comfortable being like alone like that. So yeah. And it's
yeah,
not to say that I didn't have support. Like I had support, but in terms of
yeah,
companionship like that, yeah, that
yeah.
I had to get adjusted to.
Makai, see the support around you. So, what was the support like? Like, did you have brothers around you, sisters, friends? Like, what was the peer group around you like?
I had my sisters, my mother, my
Yeah.
aunties, and cousins and the like, and everyone was like they were there. I had my granddad too, and he was a really
Ah,
important male figure as well, and my uncles as well.
ah,
They everyone was just caring, and they
yeah,
were good examples.
yeah. Bro, so see, in regards to that, at what stage in your life did you realize, you know what, I need to reach out to my dad, or who is my dad, or when you start searching, at what point did you realize, you know what, I've got to reach out now, I've got to connect. Was there a part of you that was curious to know, who is this man? Who is my dad? Like,
It might have been a defense mechanism, but I just for a long period of time I didn't. It was
yeah,
only like recent reflection I realized I think it was because if I acknowledged I was on seeking that, or if I looked too closely, I would have felt like I missed out on something. I guess my whole mindset before that was, oh, I didn't miss out on anything. Like I still became who I became. But
yeah, yeah.
the actual reason why I reached out was you find it unlikely places like there's like even the people I work with, like, a lot of people are like their dads are either gone or like passed away. And there was one guy in particular he was
Yeah.
talking about if he had the chance, he would go out his way to speak to his dad again. Um, and
Okay.
that stuck with me for a good while. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it just yeah, I eventually just did it just because like I had this opportunity, I might as well use it.
Did you find your dad? Did you eventually connect with him, bro?
It's I guess so. We connect. It's
Yeah.
it's strange because
Shall I
it
say sorry? Reconnect. Reconnect.
reconnect. Yeah,
Sorry.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all
My
love at
bad.
this point. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know if other people have the same experience, but it's like at a certain point, it's like
Yeah.
any questions I needed to ask in terms of like again how
Yeah.
to be a man or like that companionship, I
Yeah.
don't need it no more. So like I'm really happy I have you around, but that need is it's not there.
Ah. Okay. And bro, I want to challenge you on that. See, was it something that there's like what you said that you've been raised from a single parent household for so long that you there was no comparison in terms of like what it was like to have a dad and what wasn't like to have a dad. So it's like because I don't have that comparison, I don't know. So I'm just fine being who I am. And then by the time that you're grown up, you're like, well, I'm a man already. So like now, what is a father like? I mean, like, has it caused that kind of let's call it a backlash or like, yeah?
Yeah, I know
Do you feel
exactly what
that,
you
bro?
mean. I don't
Yeah,
I don't feel it, but I see it. Because I kept on asking this
uh,
question of like, what did I miss out?
yeah,
And I think I've
mm,
discovered m- especially men that grow around like that two-parent household, or at least like a secure household, like your sense of self is
yeah,
intact. You're not wondering or trying to figure out who you are or trying to fit in as much. Like you are confident in
yeah.
yourself. Um, I feel like my brothers got that a lot more because they grew up with my father, and yeah,
Ah,
it's a
okay.
nice juxtaposition being able to see that and be like, oh, like yeah, like I think it's a good quality.
Bro, do you know what I find fascinating about your situation? Like, see, your upbringing, you could have easily gone off the rails. You could have easily like gone down a dark path. And I don't know your background. Maybe you have, maybe that you haven't. But I'm just going on by what I'm seeing in front of me now. Um, how did you stay focused? How did you not like go down that dark path? Because a lot of youths or a lot of young men would easily go down the like like you said. Look, I don't want to be another statistic. So how did you prevent yourself from becoming a statistic, bro?
Look, multiple factors. My granddad, his
Yeah,
main thing he taught us was manners and respect. That carried a lot through my life. Um, Again,
yeah,
I had people that cared about me. I noticed a lot of the people who end up falling like sometimes the mothers don't care about them. The family that like they could go out and no one's really asking or checking on them like where you going, like when are you gonna be home. Like I had that ethos
yeah,
around me. And also look like I had a similar journey I think most young men go through where it's like you end up with bad company, you're trying to figure out who you are, you're
mm,
trying to mold your self to be like other people. But
yeah,
luckily like I tried that and it failed. Like I had first-hand
yeah,
experience
yeah,
and know that even if I try be someone else or try, or if I feel like my own self isn't good enough, it's not gonna work anyway. So it forced me to
yeah.
figure out who I am, and yeah, that's what you got now.
Okay, so what's your understanding of being a man? Like, what does that mean to you, bro? What does that even look like to you?
We're probably gonna go back and forth on this, but I don't.
No,
I'm
no, go
now.
for it, go for it, go for it, bro.
I'm not. I'm not at a point where I don't think it exists, you know. I think you want to
Interesting.
be,
Tell me, please,
yeah.
bro. God,
I think it's about
go
being
on.
a competent person. It's you want to be like, I think when you try be a man or whether that is to you, you're fitting into a box.
Yeah,
I feel like if you just try be the best version of you, like being a man is what you are, not who you are. It's not an identity. It's not something. It's not a mask or a piece of clothing you put on. Like it's you fundamentally. So the more you be like you, the more man you're gonna be because it's who you are to your core, isn't it? But that's my
yeah,
perspective.
yeah. Wow, bro. Sorry, man. You've actually stunned me because it's like because I didn't expect that kind of response. Because I'm actually trying to like internalize that. Do you think that that as a man that we're always evolving, like in terms of
Yeah.
today we think this is what it is, but then months or years down the line we define it differently, or do you believe right now that is who you are, and that is who you are through the test of time? That is it. This is what my definition of a man is. This is it.
Now it's constantly changed. Like before, like when I was younger,
Yeah.
speaking with my friend about this, we made up this thing called the good man principle. Like we're trying to really figure out what does it mean to be a man, but a good man at that. And like it's been a constant
Yeah, yeah,
journey,
yeah,
and only now that I've gone to this point where I'm even questioning the idea of it in of itself. But it might change in the future.
yeah. Makai, see, you know when you hear these terminologies, toxic masculinity, alpha male, beta male, and all these sort of things. When you hear those, what goes through your head? Like, how would you define these names?
It's funny. On the podcast, I
Yeah.
invented like a term for it. I call it like a next man's concept. Like it's it's like I
Okay,
talked about.
okay.
It's a box that people put you into. Like, okay, this is
Yeah.
how you're supposed to present yourself. Like, it's I don't. You could try be a traditional man or whatever man that I don't know. Someone tries to like give you like a template, but ultimately, like
Yeah, yeah.
you're trying again. You're trying to fit into something that innately.
Reason that you said that because it sounds like okay, so um, to be a man, it's like what you said is to be competent, but have basic um, grounded principles, and then the rest, I guess, you can add on as you evolve later on. So it's like that thing, what you just said, in regards to kindness, in regards to being respectful. So like, there's always some base qualities. It doesn't matter whatever stage of life that you're at. There has to be some kind of baseline um, as a man. Uh, uh, am I understanding that right, bro?
I think
Is that
that's
what
great. Yeah,
you are referring to?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So I mean, bro, tell me about your current situation. So what you doing? What you studying? What work wise? Yeah.
I'm I'm studying counseling, mental health and well-being, and me and Ali are co-workers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you revealed the occupation, but I'll leave it just yeah.
Bro, tell me about how did you get into counseling? What led you down that path?
Um, because I went to counseling, but I only went to counseling because I
Really?
was in
Oh,
a relationship before.
yeah,
Because of my ex, and she wanted to make the relationship
yeah,
work, and obviously, like most men, I was very reluctant, like, hey, like being vulnerable, like talking about my feelings and all that. Like, nah,
yeah,
we don't do that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But it was up until
You don't think? Okay.
I wanted to make it work with her, so I ended up doing it, and I
Yeah,
learned a lot about myself through it, and it was like,
yeah.
yeah, and I wanted, I guess, now doing it as a course, I want to help people the same way I was helped in some ways.
But you mentioned something about understanding feelings, and reason why that I want to ask you that is because a lot of us are having trouble trying to express our feelings, trying to open up as well. You know, it's like that thing that we're just bottling it in and just, you know, that lone wolf mentality. We're going about life trying to solve things ourselves. Um, do you feel that you're more open about your feelings, or do you even think that opening up about feelings is relevant?
Me and Ali always go back and forth about this. I ask him like, if you could be in a world where
Yeah,
it's more okay to be vulnerable as a man, would you want that? And he says no. I say yes. Um, I guess I very much separate being vulnerable and being weak. I think being vulnerable is being willing to like basically put your chest and chin out and be like, look, I'm gonna go out through the world and I might get hurt, but I'm gonna be okay. I don't
yeah, yeah,
Being weak to me is like you being okay with being defenseless, like someone kicks you, and you just like shrivel up. Like being vulnerable to me is just you're
yeah,
able to get hurt, but you can endure. So like that doesn't matter if it's emotionally, like telling someone, "Hey, this is how I feel about you," or "This is how I think
yeah,
you made me feel," or like that. It
yeah.
takes a lot of strength to do that, and like yeah.
Makai, how does a person get to that stage? You know exactly that stage of where they're comfortable enough. They've gone through certain experiences to make them, and to just it's like being fearless. It's now look, I've been hurt. I know what it feels like to be vulnerable. I'm putting it out there. How do you even get to that stage? Like what kind of mechanisms do we need to even build that type of resilience, that mindset?
Hmm, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
It's so I think the first thing that came to my mind was support. You gotta have the right people around you for that, because I don't expect
Ah,
anyone to be
yeah,
vulnerable
yeah,
and then all the people in your life that you're vulnerable around, they criticize you, they mock you, they disregard it. Like it,
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it felt insane to tell you to keep being vulnerable with them. Yeah, the first thing you gotta do is
yeah,
actually find people or organizations you can actually do that with, and then after,
yeah.
um, just be willing to explore, because through that vulnerability, you go find out more about yourself as well as the people around you.
Hmm. Okay, so bro, how do you draw the line between because two things can happen. Once we're shaken up in life, yeah, we could either be bitter or resentful, or we can choose to and grow. So when we're at that stage and we need to pick, how what makes a person go the other way? That's what I'm trying to say, bro. To be bitter and resentful.
Hmm. At being vulnerable, just so I get your question right.
Oh.
I mean,
No, no, it's like this. Okay, like so. Say for example, yeah. Let me elaborate. So what I meant is this, bro. When we're being tested and we're going through these challenges, there's two outcomes that I see that can happen. Either you choose to grow and push through and move forward, or you become more resentful, and then that you start blaming things. You start blaming life, people, situations. Like, what makes a person, in your opinion, opt for that? To go down and become more resentful. Whilst because we've got a choice, we can either choose to grow or choose to be more bitter and resentful. Now I'm looking at this person, the one who's turned out resentful and bitter. What could make a person become like that, bro? When they're being tested, when they're being vulnerable.
a couple things came to mind. Hurt, um, comfortable.
Yeah,
It's comfortable being hurt and being like, oh, they did that. This is this people, those people's fault, and I'll be honest, it takes a lot of strength to take responsibility. Even in like a situation where it's totally not your fault for being hurt, like,
yeah,
like at some, we all have to move on. Like, I believe everyone has a story where someone has been the hurt in another person's life, probably to you or vice versa.
yeah,
But at a certain point, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you've had this where it's like you can replay a
Go on.
situation where you've been wronged, and like what's the story after that? It's just, oh yeah, I've been hurt. The end. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, apart from it being
So it's
comfortable,
like a,
yeah,
yeah. So it's like a choice, I guess, isn't it? It's like, okay, that I'm either gonna make that conscious decision to improve, or there's like what you said, yeah. It's that thing about being comfortable. It's like, well, actually, I don't want to put in the effort to grow. I don't want to take accountability. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna just blame and shame again. So it's because that's the easiest thing to do, you
yeah.
know. But how do we even get out of that place, bro, of being comfortable? I mean, like what is causing that comfort?
I think for me, I feel like anyone who's been in that place, like you get sick of it. Like it's literally
Mm,
stagnation. Like you're stuck. Like you, let's say someone hurt
mm,
you emotionally, like in a relationship or some sort, you're gonna hold that same
yeah,
feeling or resentment for the next people you meet or encounter. You and you're gonna have
yeah,
the same outcome, same situations revolving over and over again. And it's like at a certain point, I feel like
mm,
you're tired. And for me, like every time I've been stuck
mm,
like that, I wanted something different. I wanted something more out of life than just that revolving door.
yeah. Mark, I see from the ups and downs, the challenges of life that you've gone through. What do you do to keep yourself just in check, in grounded, being grounded? Are there some rituals that you do, or exercise, or like any form of meditation, exercise in terms of reading books, or like what does that look like for you? How do you take care of your mental health, your physical health?
Um, it's kind of a double-edged sword because I
Yeah,
I might do this too often by checking with people, like in terms of my behavior and my
yeah,
like my character. Like if I feel like I'm getting a certain criticism, I'm hearing the same complaint over and over again, like I will look
yeah,
into myself to figure out like, is this valid? Um, and if it is, then yeah, something needs to be changed at a certain point, or like, am I doing right by the people around me? And if not, like,
mm,
I think that's the best thing I do have going for me. Like, I've developed
mm.
and been blessed to have the people around me where I trust their judgment to give me feedback on my
Ah.
stuff and my character. And yeah, I trust them. That's the main thing. I trust them.
Bro, I want to ask you something about that. I've come across people where when they're going through conflicts in their relationship, they open up to anyone and everyone. How do you because at that point it's like desperation. I need someone to speak to. I need someone to vent out on. How did you personally judge who is good for this particular situation, who can help you in this? Where did that sense of judgment come in from? Because your judgment could be clouded when you're going through those emotional states and you just want to talk to someone. Um, how do you become very selective? That's what I want to ask you, bro.
It's okay.
Are you selective, or are you the type of person that just you know what? I need to speak to someone, and it doesn't matter who it is.
I'm selective, but it came about by two ways, and I'm figuring out how to explain it.
Ah, okay.
I felt
Yeah,
like I felt like for a good amount of time I was seeking validation from people. It's why like I always learn from my mistakes. I think it's one of the best parts of my
yeah,
character. Um, and ultimately, I feel like I'm disrespecting myself just as much as they're disrespecting them by doing that. I felt like once I started moving away from people and started
yeah,
not invite, you can't invite everyone around you because you're not for
yeah.
everyone and not everyone's for you. And
That's right. Yeah,
when that happened, I felt like it gave me more time as well to develop myself and my character. And you
mm,
probably have this where it's like when you develop that, people get drawn to you because of that. admire or
Oh yeah,
see what you're working on, and they want to be a part of it, and then you see that in them, and
yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah,
vice versa
yeah,
compared to if you just invite everyone
yeah,
around you. Of course, you're gonna have that doubt
yeah.
of like, can I go to them because they're just there?
I, I get you. I totally get that, bro. There was something that you said there about validation. Do you seek validation, or because when people seek validation, it has so many different types of meaning. Like I seek validation, for example, if I'm on a mission, um, I I need to connect with that person. So that's why I'm going to seek validation, only to build a stronger rapport with that person. Not necessarily for because I have a low self esteem. Do you see what I'm trying to say, bro? It's
Yeah.
like I'm using validation as a tool to for a specific purpose. What does that mean to you, bro? Because you've you've mentioned something about validation here, so I just want to pull you up on that.
What you're talking about with connection, I think that's important, and that's what helps build relationships. Validation for me,
Mm,
in terms of it being negative, was me looking at other people as a placeholder for things that I'm missing. Like if I'm distracted or I'm again that low self-esteem that I feel like a lot of people have it,
mm,
and you can kind of make up for it by saying, "Oh, look at all these people I have," um, or look at I can speak to this person, and your mind's kind of preoccupied with another person's life than your own. Um,
yeah,
that's that, yeah. Or especially for sticking in terms of manhood, like the idea of like getting girls,
yeah,
like that's something that some men can do, some can't, and it is tied to
yeah,
masculinity in terms of you can do something better than another man can. But ultimately, like these people you're speaking to, do you like them? Do you respect them? Do you care about them? And if you don't, why do you
mm,
have these people you don't care about around you? And so often, like you, yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I get that, bro. I get that. Okay, cool. You know, I want to ask you, bro. What do you think that we're struggling as men in our current time? What is that thing that we're struggling with, in your opinion, bro?
um, I think there's like three things if I'm honest. I
Okay,
think
okay, cool, cool.
self-esteem. Um, I
Yeah,
I see even with like seeing my families be raised, like nieces, nephews, friends, and the like
yeah,
seeing how daughters are raised, like it's really eye opening. Like they are, their sense of self is cultivated. It's maintained by parents, especially fathers. Sons, I've
yeah,
noticed when they're being raised, it's they're raised, but I don't know if the self esteem is being put together. Essentially, I think when it's done well, you can
mm,
very much see in the final product. Like you can see a man who's who has that safety, but also a surety from their
mm,
father. Um, I think the other things I'm missing are probably respect between the sexes. I think that
mm.
causes a whole bag of stuff, and again, that box feeling the need to fit in, which again, I think is more tied to like self-esteem and self-worth.
Yeah. So that's one. You mentioned there's three. What's the other two, bro?
I the respect. I don't think it I don't think respect is
Yeah,
taught or encouraged between the sexes, and I think that causes a
yeah.
whole bag of problems. Um, and then the third thing, of course, is going to be about then that need to fit in. I think it's more. I don't know how to say it's more encouraged in men, but at least with being a man, I've seen it
Yeah,
to its worst. Yeah.
bro. You know that thing that you mentioned respect there. What is that about, bro? Like, what does that look like?
Like I'm trying. What inspired? I, it, this kind of goes with the validation thing. Like it dawned on me one day, like again having these type of
Yeah,
people around you, again especially these girls that you're
yeah,
talking to or chasing. Like it dawned on me one day, like do I respect them? Like do I like yeah, do I respect them? And it's weird because like
yeah.
after all this time like speaking and chasing people, it's like you'd think that would cross my mind at some point, but it's not. It wasn't there. And I think, and speaking to my other peers and the people around me, that's something because that's it doesn't really come to mind. But these are the people you're
Mm.
chasing or you're planning to spend your life with, and you don't know if you respect them. Like, yeah,
See, is respect, in your opinion, do you think for you to respect someone, they would have to have something in common with you? Does it look like having common ground? Does it look like being kind? Does it look like so? Say for example, um, whether I choose to respect you will determine what you could do for me. Does it look something like that, bro, or not?
respect in terms of just um, I look at you in admiration. Like I look at you and it makes it makes you happy the person makes you happy that you're the person you are to be around this person, or it makes you want to be a better person
Ah,
because you're around like that. I think that
ah,
should be fundamental. Like even your friends or the peers that you around you, I'd imagine the people that
yeah.
you have, like you're like, yeah, I'm happy I got this guy because that them
Yeah,
same
yeah.
ethics and values.
Makai, how do we get that in a relationship? So, like, say for example, that we're in a relationship with our partner. What, in your opinion, from what you've learned along the way, when it comes down to picking a partner, what are the green flags that as us men should look out for, and what are the red flags? So, three red flags and three green flags in your opinion, like what you've discovered so far in the life of Makai.
Um, hmm.
So
Hopefully,
it's like I'm about to get into. Yeah, go on, bro. Go on, go on, go
I
on.
was just hoping I was gonna say right. Green flag, shared ethics and values. Like I am, yeah, like you appreciate honesty the same way I do. You
Okay.
appreciate taking care of people the same way I do. You have principles. That you have things that you will not do, not because someone told you not to do, but because you know within yourself that's wrong. Um,
Okay.
you have,
So
yeah, go
yeah.
on.
Okay. In terms of like same principles, how would I find that out? Like so let's say let's play out a scenario, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in regards to those three red flags, three green flags. Yeah. So we're about to go on a date. You've met this girl and you're sitting across the table from her, and you're trying to find out what she's about. What in in your radar, what are the things that you'll be looking out for? Because warning signs and green lights. What would that look like for you, bro?
Okay. I think this is what I think I made things sound confusing. I
No,
don't.
no, no
I'd
problem.
say what
No, go
you
on, man.
shouldn't even go on a date with someone if you don't know that from the start. Like for me now, if I see someone I like, I say,
Yeah,
can I sit down and have a
yeah,
conversation with you, or like before a date? Because why am I arranging all of this? And I don't. Again, I don't know if I
yeah,
like or respect you yet. And I feel like a date builds
yeah.
expectations on both parties to like present
Right,
something
right,
instead of
right, right,
be
right. Right.
who you are. But in terms of like the red
Yeah.
flags, like if you're someone who's very like I'm someone who it's hard to say as well because like I know I'm quite specific. I'm a bit I'm difficult. I'll be honest compared to someone else
No,
where
go for it. Go for it. Like I want to, yeah, yeah. Look, I want to hear this because I'm I'm interested to know your perspective, your approach to these types of situations. Yeah, go on, bro.
someone who
Yeah,
questions themselves and also is willing to question me, but not
Hey,
because like
well,
they want to pick apart, but just
oh,
because you want to know. You've got that curiosity.
yeah,
Someone who has a dream or a goal. It doesn't have to be something lively, but you have things that you hold dear to you. You don't just go with the wind like
yeah,
whether someone who the last one's going to be difficult. Someone who
yeah,
is willing to build, not on me like on my project, but like is willing to
yeah.
be a partner to be
Is
like,
that
okay,
build
we're in this
with
together.
you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I get that. I get that. I get that. Okay, in like I'm gonna go off the tangent and speak about something else, bro. What's occurred to me now through this journey is this. So um, let's talk about mission. So what's Makai's mission now? What's your mission about, bro?
To be the best counselor I could be still like that's what I wanna do.
Okay.
Um
Yeah.
to I've the podcast that I've done so far, I feel like
Yeah.
where I've left off like is perfect to me in terms of I've said everything I needed to say. Um
Yeah.
so that's something I'm happy with. I've got a book I'm trying to write. Again that I guess just leaving the world, not leaving, because I don't think I can have that big a world on the effect on the world, but just doing my part and
Yeah.
yeah, just doing my part, doing my part.
Yeah. Makai, how did you find? Sorry, bro. How did you find your mission? Because reason why I ask is because that's another issue that us men are trying to navigate because we're lost in identity, we're lost in mission. How did you find your mission? What kind of steps did you take to look for that, or did it naturally fall into place because of your situation and
Weirdly, as a child, I made a promise to two women in my life.
yeah,
They were I forgot the first promise, but the second promise I made to a cousin at a family gathering. She was talking about how every
yeah,
man essentially she was with basically just came and went, came and went, came and went, and she was
yeah,
hurt or damaged herself. And that reminded me of the first promise I made, and just all there's always been like a consistent theme in like my life or the lives of the people I've seen where it's like again I feel like as a man I hold a
yeah,
lot of power and a lot of responsibility, and I've seen how like one man can come in and just wreck that, and now you got maybe three or multiple
mm,
lives just ruined because of that. Um, I made a promise to myself that I would
yeah.
I wouldn't repeat the same mistakes, and I would try make things different to where those same situations wouldn't happen as much or as often.
Bro, I I want to ask you if uh before we go, I want to ask you what one piece of advice would you give us men out there? You're that gem, that wisdom, the last words of Makai. What would that be, bro? What would that look like?
Mm. I already said it's not who you are, it's what you are. So I say this. There was an impactful story that I read, and these two characters are very
Mm,
important in the story to me. It basically
mm,
goes like this with the saying, "Don't be a Jimmy and don't be a
yeah,
Curly." Jimmy in this scenario is a user. You could even say an abuser. Curly is an enabler.
yeah.
So the saying supposed to be, don't be an
Ah,
abuser and don't be an like don't watch, don't just don't like if you know one of your friends or someone you know is like on badness for doing something. Like, don't be the
Mm.
person enabling that car. You're with it. You're standing with what you're seeing. So yeah, don't be a Jimmy. Don't be a Curly.
Yeah.
Be there.
Be the rock. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.